Mic check. There we go. There we go. Nice pearl. I have a pearl. Oh, I have a pearl. Does this count as having a pearl t-shirt? Anyway. Hi, hello, welcome in. I don't know what happened with OBS there. OBS happens, or not happens, OBS likes to do some weird stuff when you restart your computer, especially if you restart your computer because of updates. So I haven't opened OBS since I restarted, and it just disconnected all of my audio sources, and I had to reconnect them all, and I forgot about the microphone. But then when I was checking the microphone, it was saying that the microphone input source, which is crisp for me, was not available. And so as I was looking at crisp, it's like I failed to sync, and yeah, anyway, it's there now, so we're good to go. Everything is running. Hi, welcome. Happy Monday to all of you. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Hope you had a great weekend. And yeah, welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion, and this is code. Look at us go. This does not look like code. This looks like a new tab. Yes! Those are awesome. So do those actually cost bits though? You definitely don't have to use your bits, man. But I love it. I love that you can make the emotes massive, and it even shows up here, which I love even more. Look at how massive that thing is. Oh man. Yeah, that's sad. I wonder if I can modify the amount of bits that it costs, because people should be able to do that. I'll look into it soon-ish. Probably a good thing. I don't know. I love seeing them, especially the emotes that the people in our community have. Those deserve to be blown up massively. Yeah. Anyway, we'll look for those eventually. Hello, Mojo. Hello, Zaid. Happy Monday. Mondays are great days to be developers, aren't they? I have something fun we can do today. We will finish with the designing stuff eventually. If you remember on Friday, I was like, here's the RMA water app. Check out how amazing it is. Oh, I'm logging into the wrong one. Not what I meant to do. Look at how amazing it is. And found out that there was a bug in it. And it was all crashed. So I fixed that immediately. Well, I rolled back to the previous release, fixed it, and then released the new one. And it ended up being that there was a missing mapping profile for my auto mapper, and I have no idea how it disappeared. I don't remember deleting it, and I don't remember adding anything new. Oh my goodness. So did you tell your bot to specifically say itty bitty bits, or did you actually have it read through your comment? Okay. That would have been awesome. I mean, it's awesome either way. Thank you so much for the bits. But you're getting your bot to be able to listen to redeems and bit cheers. That's cool. Something's got to work. Take me to... I'm still trying to get the... I had a meal bar. Still trying to get some of that out of my cheek. Take me to Azure DevOps. Why did you take me to Azure Portal? I need dev. Why? Oh my goodness. Sign out. It's a good idea to close all of your browser windows. It's a good idea if you shut the truck. I need the automated realms account. Why do you keep trying to sign into my new Navarro account? So they gave me a Navarro account. And it keeps trying to sign me in with the Navarro account, even though I'm keeping them separate. Sign out and sign in with the new. So I have my Navarro account on a different browser profile, not connected to Windows, and we're gonna log into it eventually. You have to put the org in the ADO link. Yeah, I have that. So I'll just see if I can log into it in this browser. I'm sure I'm logged in. dev.azure.com/armids. Want to sign out of Navarro. Wait, why does that say it's connected to Windows? Yeah, I need to make sure that that gets completely disconnected. But you can see here, here's my automated ROMs. Okay, so something that happened is I finally merged, yes? Oh, I'm so confused now. Give me 20 minutes and then I'll catch up to you. Sign into there. Please. Welcome to DevOps. Confirm your email. My email is confirmed. Just take me to there. Automated realms. Okay, I need to do a lot of removing the profile stuff from this computer. I'll even delete the browser profile. But anyway, I wanted an easy way to get the email from them. So I've been working from my business account, my automated realms account, in this repo because they are my client and I have been doing everything using this. That said, they still set me up with a Navarro email address, which I mean, I guess. Sure, I'll have it because they need me to have it, but I don't really want to use it for anything. So anyway, somehow I ended up adding that to my Windows, and I don't like doing that. I only like having my personal work, my business accounts on this computer, and then anything else would be on a separate device. But I wanted to be able to log into the browser using my Navarro, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, what I did with RMA Water, one of the first things that I did as I was restarting my contract work with them, with Navarro, was converted the existing RMA Water application from .NET 6 to .NET 8. And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And all I was doing was just creating new projects that were targeting .NET 8 and porting the code over and cleaning it up. And it's so clean now. I'm so happy with it. But having done that, I still have a .NET Framework project and the original .NET 6 app because that is what is in current production. So I have the .NET 6 and .NET 8 projects side by side in the same repo, in the same branch, currently in main. But for some reason, my .NET 6 project still builds. My .NET 6 project still build for the main application, but my .NET Framework API stopped building ever since I did the .NET 8 upgrade. So I thought it would be fun if we went through and figured out what the deal is. I haven't looked at it at all yet, so we'll be discovering it together. But if any of you do have any thoughts and recommendations. I can already see some things that it's trying to tell me. Aha. You can already guess what it is, which is I'm using file scope namespaces, blah, 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 blah. I bet it's a red X issue. So let me show the project. Hello, TBD Gamer. I didn't listen to your stream at all this morning, but I was definitely there and cheering you on and seeing you see the map disappear or something, and then it came back, or your play area, and talking more about Godot and having fun with that. But yeah, check out TBD Gamer. Mondays and Tuesdays he streams Godot game development, where he is learning Godot, trying to make a top-down shooter, which are one of my favorite types of games, by the way, so that he can eventually get the skills to make his dream game, essentially, which is a builder-style game. He also sometimes works on a community stream project, Water Drink Water. You are welcome to join his community and contribute to that application. He will do PRs on stream on Mondays and Tuesdays. Water, drink water. I do love that. The command is bang water, and the the response is drink water. Matches his app perfectly. But it's essentially an app where you can track your you set goals for yourself for how much water you want to drink a day, and you track how much water you drink and see how you fare against your own goals. You can also compare it with your friends' goals. But on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this Wednesday specifically is going to be a longer stream, but he works on his main project, which is called Liquid Sky currently. And it's a project management application, kind of like you see DevOps, kind of like Jira, but more developer focused, more geared towards these are the things that we need to get done. And let's not worry about the the administrative stuff, because that gets cluttery. Let's not lose work products or work tasks. And yeah, so that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's where he's at. Check out his stream. Let's see what wonderful clip we get from him today.
Confidence in me, so they went out and hired somebody else and made me work with them to hand over the code, and they managed it, and they basically ripped it all apart and said, oh, I have to redo it all. And it harmed me, even though I'd gone off and done it in my spare time. I just didn't have, I wasn't meeting their expectations. And yeah,
that would break me. That would break me a lot. Like, one of the things
weigh on me.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I didn't know you weren't done. One of the things that happened with the previous job is I felt like I was able to document a lot of it, but I wasn't able to document all of it. I'm still in communication with the person that did take over that position, so they have access to me if they do have questions, but I also feel like I kind of failed them in not having everything super clean, especially with how just the timelines. I'm sure they are experiencing the timeline push for everything, and they probably want to clean up a lot of the code, but then are like, well, I need to get this feature done or fix these bugs or whatever the client is asking for before the next release. So they don't have time to do it. But I still feel like I could have done more. Feels bad, man. How? Maybe. And yes. Okay, so let's figure this out real quick, and then we'll get back to the redesign process we've been doing on our stream. So on our stream, we have been working on a project called the Financial Management Tracker, and that is an app that will allow you to track your finances manually. So it doesn't connect to financial institutions and have it import your statements or anything like that. You would instead add the accounts that you want to track and add the transactions that you made against those accounts, And the 3 transaction types that we track are payments, which is money coming from one of your account out to some external source, like Walmart or some grocery store. I guess I shouldn't name names. Some general goods store, some grocery store, whatever. Yeah, so that, and then transfers, which is money going between 2 of your tracked accounts, and then deposits, money coming from an outside source to a tracked account. The end. So let's go into the project that we're gonna try to fix. External sauce. You can see the 2 solutions that I have here. One of them only has the .NET 8 projects in it, and the other one has the .NET 6 projects. So this is our current stable application. You can see that they're both in the same repo. You can tell because they're in the same folder, essentially. So rmawater/source. Sauce. I had to go watch that clip to figure out the context. The context was you were telling a story about a previous position you had where your client or your boss or whoever it was not happy with the work you were doing, or maybe you were specifically saying it as a hypothetical situation. We didn't hear the very beginning of it. And then you were telling us about having to train the next person on the code base and stuff, and then they're just pretty much saying, I can't work with this, need to tear it up and start over from scratch. And that just hurt you, and I could feel the pain. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the .NET 6 version of the app, and I just don't remember. Yeah, why is the chart trying to build using .NET 6? That's what I want to know. So my chart projects, these 3 here, should be .NET Framework. Oh my goodness, just let me in. Okay, so .NET Framework 4.8, and the only reason it is .NET Framework is specifically this project here. Huh, it's not an actual package reference. I guess it's only available in the .NET Framework. It's so weird to say. Charts controller. Look at all this logic inside of this controller. Oh my gosh, isn't it so much? It goes out to my actual chart service and says, give me a chart, and then return that back to whoever called me. Oh, so heavy. So chart lib should also be .NET Framework 4.8. It is. Chart lib has chart builder. Chart builder uses system web UI data visualization charting. This no longer exists in .NET Core, and I don't know how to build charts in .NET Core currently, or I just didn't really have the time to do it initially. I needed to convert it straight over, and again in Java they were using JFreeChart, and the closest looking charts, in fact they look almost exactly the same, were the charts from system.web.ui.datavisualization.charting. So I'll need to rewrite that someday. So TBD Gamer is explaining, I had been asked to write an iPhone application back in the Objective-C days, and I spent a couple months learning and building, and I produced an application that they released to production, but I got asked to hand it over, and the other developer was quite critical and told them it needed to be rewritten. But I used the experience to learn how to detach my feelings and take what I learned along the way as a positive outcome to reflect on and ignore the failure. I mean, if that's how it works for you, then I will encourage you to continue doing so. I keep attached to the feelings. Yeah. You can still hold on to all of it and have the lessons learned and do better and just have it overall be beneficial for you. Everything belongs. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, moving on. No preaching from me. I shall not turn to the dark side. I certainly will. You finished a product and learned stuff. You won. You've won. We finished a product, and our client, which was ourselves, told us, yeah, this is great. It works fantastic. It looks like crap. So then they told us to go home, and then they picked someone else to make it look better. They're like, this UI is crap. I'm going to have to tear it apart and start it over from scratch. So same situation, but we're doing it to ourselves. Oh, and TBD, the my stream always shows unstable as well, even though I have 0 drop frames ever, and I'm running at 6,000 kbps. So I don't know what the deal is with OBS doing that. I just wanted you to know it's not just you. Yeah, maybe, but right now it just says unstable, instable. Oh, tasty. Okay, I need this to stop being on my screen though. This needs to be this instead for now. Okay, better. So we'll get back to this design as soon as we fix this issue. So, like I'm showing you, the build, it's trying to build the API as .NET 6, even though I'm targeting .NET Framework. So why is that? Twitch in general is unstable on my end, but I can live with it. Oh, so maybe it really is instable. Unstable. My stream bitrate is too high. Maybe it's because our bit rates are set too high. What should my bitrate be? Because my bitrate is at 6,000, and it's so that I can have 0 latency. Do I need to lower that? Which is meant to support 6K. Maybe it's because my bitrate is actually 6100. So I'm going to manually set it to like 5800 and see if that fixes it.
It's over 9,000.
It is. Okay. We'll see if that drops the bitrate below 6,000 and if that makes the stream become stable. Yeah, it's at 6,007 now, 5,902. So maybe that's all you need to do, TBD. Maybe you're too elite for Twitch and you have to lower your bitrate for them. I find it amusing that YouTube is like 6K? Peasant. Jump that up to like 15K. Or whatever YouTube supports. Says DBD Gamer. Okay, so issue number 1. For some reason, it's trying to build the chart API using .NET 6. Why? Because we see that chart API is targeting .NET Framework, chartlib is targeting .NET Framework, and this should just be .NET Standard, if I recall correctly. Yeah, .NET Standard. So even the chart models are only targeting .NET Standard 2.0. And those are the only 3 that should be getting built by this. Also, why is it trying? That's what it is. It's trying to build. It's trying to build the entire solution. You know what I think we can do? 2? I think we should just be able to tell it to use a later version of .NET build, .NET SDK. Because I think it still uses MS Build for the .NET Framework build, but if it's trying to build the entire solution anyway, oh, excuse me, then it should still be able to use the latest version of .NET to build it all. Excuse me, where are you telling it which version of .NET to use for the build solution? Excuse me. Latest Visual Studio, and it's telling it to build the entire solution. Yeah, maybe I just need to create a solution that is only the chart API. That'll be number 1, and then tell it to target that solution. And it's using MS Build. Build platform. Build platform, any CPU. RMA water. Yeah, nothing. Okay, we're gonna try that. Let's create a solution that is specifically only has the chartlib stuff. And if I am correct, where's my build dependencies? Chartlib and chart models, and then chartlib only has a dependency on chart models, and chart models doesn't have a dependency on anything else. So they should be able to be self-contained. So new solution. Which I'm just going to start with a project. Yeah, this will work. Doesn't matter. I cannot type. Get ladder source RMA ladder. Chart API. I don't want to call it the same name as the... Yeah, I do. I was going to say I don't want to call it the same name as the project, but I do. Oops. Whap. Siblings. Hey, Dukasov, great job on your shot. You managed to hit the target and scored 20 points. Don't worry about your previous misses, just focus on the next attempt. Keep practicing for your next shot. Remember, you can always maximize your score at 100. Always. It's because you will never ever get 100. What was I looking for? I was looking for the name of the project. Crap, I'm not going to be able to see the name of the project, am I? Just go to Git. Oh my goodness. Or not Git. DevOps. I'm in DevOps. Somebody help me. It's like, as soon as I'm streaming this, I forget how to navigate around DevOps. I forget how to do anything. Okay, so RMA Water Blazor .chart API, RMA Water Blazor .chartlib, etc. So RMA Water Blazor .chart API is going to be the name of the solution. I'm going to call it charting. Oh, but that's going to change the... No, it's not. It's not going to change the assembly name. That's based off of the project. So just kidding. We're going to go with I don't care because we're going to delete this. We're going to go with I don't care. I can't remember how to use DevOps either. Every time? You're going to ask me every time. Hello, Apocalypse. Oh my goodness. I almost clicked on manage user secrets thanks to you. I'm trying to get, well, it doesn't matter because this doesn't have anything. Open folder is what I'm looking for. On-screen celebration. Oh my goodness. We're deleting this from disk. Excuse me for the belch. It's not. Get off my disk. Excuse me, what? You heard me. You got a real purty map. Okay, so the only thing this solution is going to be for is to split it up so that we can build the chart API separately from the rest of the application. Since it has its own pipeline and build pipeline and release pipeline, we're going to add some existing projects and we're going to start with models. We're going to go in dependency order, the one that has 0 dependencies through the one that has the most dependencies. And that is, are you the actual repos? You are. I have it pinned right here. RMA get, RMA water, source, RMA water. You didn't actually create a folder, did you? Please tell me you did. Oh, charting. You did create a folder. I'm gonna have to move the solution first because I kind of want the solution in the root. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Dang it, open a new window. Don't ask me what I'm doing. The solution is to move the solution to the place where solutions belong. Okay, let's try this again. We'll get somewhere at some point in time. I promise. This is dev. This is what it's like to do dev. Or so I'm told. Okay, now we can add our projects starting from the lowest dependency, chart models, to the next higher dependency, chart lib. When you guys say lib for short, if you ever say it out loud, do you say lib or lib? lib. Did I just see a bat file? Where? Maybe. What would the bat file be? Lib as in liberal. I say lib. Yes, you did see. Oh, I have. I made a bat file to make this easier on myself. So, because the chart server is a .NET Framework MVC or API controller, I have not have to, but I instead of starting it using .NET Run or .NET Watch, I have to start it using IIS Express. And that is done by specifically calling into iisexpress.exe and then the chart API project, targeting the project API. Completely forgot about that. Instead, I just have it in my PowerShell and C : /program files IIS. Okay, so that should be all of them. Let's just make sure that it builds. Set as a startup. Build. And I rarely make any changes to the our API at all. Maybe to, oh, I'm gonna have to, duh, because the next issue that I'll be working on is one of the charts is doing the Y intervals incorrectly until you update it, which is the thing that I think I was trying to show on Friday. But yes, it does build. Do you run? Run. Come on, API, gateway. Am I trying to go the wrong way? Am I supposed to be? Yeah. Yay! It does run. Okay, so with that, I'm going to do this in a new branch. And I did create a work item for this, so let's go ahead and name it based off of that work item. New solution charts. Boosh. There is one more thing that I would like to set up. Mojo says, gonna lurk. I think I'm close to figuring out the abstract factory strategy implementation. There was a lot to that, and I tried to catch up with that conversation. So feel free to ignore me while I say this and focus on what you're doing. But when I was glancing at it, it kind of looked like the decorator pattern would be good for it. Not that I know how to use the decorator pattern correctly, but it sounded like based off of the value in a field, so whether it has this value or this other value or whatever, that's what determines which version of the method you want to run. But it also sounded like what I think it was Zulius that was talking with you. Yeah, I have no idea. I really don't know the names of these things, but it's just, I don't know, 2 years ago, Broken Sword pointed me to the decorator pattern when he was trying to learn it or figure out if there was a use for it for the things he was doing. But it's kind of what it sounds like. Maybe not. Maybe I'm completely off. But I have no idea what the strategy pattern is or factory. Like abstract factory, the only thing that I know of factories for is generating instances of objects with reusability of existing instances. I saw that decorator could be used if I need to use multiple strategies. So yeah, I don't know what the strategy pattern is, so I couldn't chime in on the conversation. It would have been nice to. But I did see that one of our newest members of the community, Blue, was chiming in. That was cool. That was very, very cool. You two are helping each other. It was awesome. Yeah, so interface iFactory, and then factory 1 implements iFactory, factory 2 implements iFactory. Yeah, or if you used abstract factory with a bunch of predefined methods, that could be overridden. I can see that working too. Yeah. Okay. We pushed. I need to create a pull request. I keep wanting to do the pull request in Visual Studio. I don't know if I like the interface for it yet. I'll go ahead and try it, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, the fact that it still shows me a left change as deleting this and then a right change as adding a new or adding content to it is making it feel like the change is actually deleting an existing file when I am only adding a new file. And you can see that here. I'm only adding a file. Anyway, interesting. So President Not Sure says, I had a problem, then I used Java, then I had a problem factory. Nice. But Mojo is like, I'm probably way off, to be honest. It's my first time trying to do something at this scale, and my senior dev has a gang of 4 design patterns book. Yeah, I don't know about design patterns. Like, I can see where they're useful and why they are there, but I don't know. Trying to learn them myself at the moment doesn't make sense for me to do. But it looks like you're in a position where it does make sense for you to do. Anyway, I'll have updates this week for sure. Until then, bang lurk. This sounds familiar, like a familiar discussion. Yes. And we hold the same opinion on learning certain things before or in a situation where we don't really need those things. It's like learning just for the sake of learning. Keep distracting myself though. Create the PR. I wanted to, the other thing that I wanted it to do was to associate it with my work item, number 513. I think I was supposed to type that in here and put that in the pull request. And regardless of whether I create it in Visual Studio or not, I need to go to the browser to approve the pull request. So anyway, picture this. You are working on a team of developers, and one of the developers has submitted a pull request and said, can you please review this? They tagged you on it. And so here you are, because nothing ever gets committed to main except through a pull request. And because your team is amazing, unlike mine, when you have a new pull request created, there is a pipeline that runs that says, does it build? Do all the tests pass? And yeah, just those things. Otherwise, you cannot merge the pull request unless those are true and the code has been reviewed by at least one other person. Because you guys are amazing. Me, it is proven complete. But I picture this every single time that I come in here. I'm like, if I was on a team, then I would create a pull request. And if I was the one doing the reviewing for someone else's pull request, then I would review the files, make sure that it does build, all of the stuff that I just said. Here we are completing. Actually, are we completing? We don't know that this is going to be successful. So there are, well, the code is done for the things that I wanted to do with this. So we can delete the branch for sure. But the work item is not done until we can verify that the build works. Okay, so it merged, and we're going to go to the pipeline, which should have kicked off automatically. And it's doing both. So even though the only one that I was committing to was the charts library, it's still going to do the full pipeline build for both the main application and the chart API, which kind of sucks. I am going to cancel this one. Actually, no, I want to make sure that adding the new solution does not break this pipeline. In fact, I think I want to edit this pipeline so that it specifically only builds the RMA water solution. We'll cancel the previous. I'm so not used to the icons. Like usually I have this expanded, but I've been needing more screen space lately. Okay. Concilio. Porfa. Okay, and then I want to do the same thing for the charts pipeline, which is to specify that it should only use the charting library pipeline. So Concilio you. I've decided to go full send on using views in my GraphQL layer to gather data so I can use projections. I've got this terrible feeling I'm going to regret this. More power to you. I will send you only productive vibes and success. You will have a successful outcome. That's what I feel is going to happen. Oh yeah, speaking of successful outcome, completely unrelated, just as, and I told my wife this, so it's going to sound repetitive to her, but anyway, just as quickly as my back pain thing happened, the one where I went upstairs, dropped a thing on the floor, looked at it and wanted to bend over to pick it up and just couldn't move, couldn't anything. And then as the day progressed, I found it harder and harder to move until finally I just wasn't able to walk at all. And I was crawling on the floor trying to get to like a couch, and it took me, I don't know, an hour to get from a space on the floor to the couch just to try to get standing up. It was crazy. Anyway, that felt like it happened suddenly. And then on Friday, you guys heard me still complaining about it because it still hurt. But yesterday evening, right as we were getting ready to head upstairs for bed, I stood up and realized I didn't have any back pain at all. And I could move full range of motion. And it like just disappeared, whatever the issues were. So I'm still afraid to move too much, but it feels so nice to not have that same pinchy, throbby, seizing pain. I really didn't want to have to go to a doctor. The last time it happened, I went to a doctor and got a shot of Toradol or something. Toradol. The thing that's similar to cortisol, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't cortisol. Unfortunately, the older you get, the more fragility. Oh, the human body, an impressive but fragile thing. Yes. Are we doing all the things at the same time? I need to update this. So we canceled this. I need to go to the pipeline so I can edit the pipeline so that I can tell it only build. That's army. Oh my. Does anyone know how to navigate this? Okay, so chart API is what I meant to edit. And I think I canceled the other one again. We wanted to only build the RMA Water Blazor charting solution. So let's save and queue that. Update to only build the charting solution. We'll go back to this one that I canceled the second run of it. That was supposed to be our test run for is it only building the RMA Water Blazor web pipeline. And then we'll just sit here for the next 6 minutes staring at it and praying that it runs. Because that's what you do when you start a pipeline too. Does anyone else experience that, or is it just a me thing? You start the pipeline, open it up, watch the things go. You're like, don't you dare red X. You're like willing it to not red X. Don't you dare. You are not alone. So what I would normally do, I think, or I guess now that I know a different approach to this, I would probably have the, wait a minute, why isn't the new solution showing up in main? You should be deleted. Why isn't the new solution showing up in main? It's a fluke. It's there. I'm sure it's there. Open the folder. Dang it. Anyway, I would probably have this entire chart API folder in its own repo. And then I would still do project references inside of my main app. The thing that I don't like about that, I mean, I like that you can do multiple repos in Visual Studio now, but the thing I don't like is that you have to have both repos cloned to the correct folder location so that you don't break the references. So right now, for example, shared references on a relative path the chart models. And so if you cloned your chart library repo to a different location than your RMA Water, then your RMA Water expects it to, then this would break. So I don't know. I'm still kind of wishy-washy on that one. But anyway, look at that. We fixed the chart pipeline. What about the release? And the release is fine. And just to test out that we didn't break anything with the release, we're going to go to the test server and run a quick chart. For example, a reverse gradients on lime basins for 0401 2023. Yeah, 0331 2024. So this is the chart that has an issue currently. And the thing that I was trying to show on Friday when I was talking about it is this. So it's giving me an interval of 1, but if I go into the chart options and just apply it without making any changes. Whoa. Oh, this is chart document. Chart options and apply it without making changes. It fixes the y-axis. So this is what it should look like when the chart originally generates. The reason that it hasn't been seen before is this point up here. And that's because there was an error in the data entry for this specific well, for this specific date. And you can see that it is off by a lot. What number are you? 36235. I don't even know how to read this to see that the number is super far off. But this number is supposedly way off. I think it has to do with the depth top of container, where it's like half. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how this is so different. Anyway, whatever. Point is, it works, so I can deploy it to production. And yes, they are currently using the app, but this doesn't really interrupt very much because the chart API is running on its own as its own site node on IIS on a server. And so like if someone is in the middle of generating a chart, most likely that chart will finish by the time this, before this thing takes the site down to deploy the new files and then brings the site back up. But it's done. So they might just get a small error that says, and it doesn't really matter. They might get an error that just says, unable to do charts, try running it again. They run the chart again and it works fine the next time. So this one is not enough of an interruption that I would not deploy. So the next thing that I want to make sure is that the .NET 6 version of RMA Water does build without error, even though there is that new solution in the same folder. And this is going to say .NET 8 soon, S**N. But there it goes, successful. And then this is something that I wouldn't want to push to production until the end of the day, like after people go home. So that automatically kicks off the release. There it goes. This is the release to test. And then I'll test it out, make sure nothing breaks. And then during off hours, or if I've let everyone know this is an emergency release, I'm going to be submitting it real quick, save any work, blah, blah, blah. Then I'll deploy it. This is what we will be doing soon for our normal daily streams, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday streams. Monday, Wednesday streams. So right now what happens is there is a pending approval. Like, would I be able to tell the entire group that don't push this release until the end of the workday, or everyone has gone home, or we log into the server and see that there are no users connected. I don't know. I don't know of an easy way to do that other than communicating it. Like right now, it's just me. This person was helping me out when I was still at Sagetti. Yeah. I don't know. Other than just telling them, sending an email out. Or a Slack message. I don't use Slack. Who uses Slack anymore? That face. Okay, well, I am happy with that, so I'm going to go over to the work item next. And I'm going to mark it as resolved. I will mark it as complete as soon as I do the publish tonight. Cool. And I did remember to associate it. Thank goodness. Cool. Saved, and I'll mark this as closed, like I said, when I push the blue button. Okay, well, that was your daily dose of professional DevOps for a solo team working on a for real client project. Any questions? That was fun. I miss doing software dev. It feels like the only thing we ever do anymore is design. Oh, man. Anyway, President Not Sure says I use Slack for work. That's cool. I don't think I've ever been on a team that uses Slack. Then again, I've only ever been on one other team. And we use Teams and Zoom. Oh yeah, and I got all of my build emails. Deleted. All right, man, that feels so nice to have that done. I feel like starting this week, I might be able to have a decent routine for work, and then I'll change it up. It is possible that I will stream more once we're done with the financial management tracker application. And maybe just to get through it faster, I will work on the redesign off stream. I don't know, because again, I want this app for myself. I'm already slacking. No need to use Slack. Slack is pretty much my entire organization way of communicating. You didn't even typo it, and I read it. Oh, wow. Anyway, that and Google Meets. Yeah, so we were using Zoom for video meetings, not video meetings, just meetings, for meetings, and we were also using it for messaging, but then IT was like, no, you need to use Teams only for messaging. So we're going to disable the chat feature in Zoom. And we want you to stop using Zoom, even though all of our meetings are scheduled for using Zoom. You were plugged in. Okay, you guys will eventually get used to this, I hope. This will be my modus operandus soon. If I stream more, the plan will be that I'll stream my workday, I'll do my regular lunch breaks and stuff, as I have done in the past, and yeah, we'll have longer streams, but there is absolutely, I'm just afraid of making anyone feel obligated to have to be here for the entire time. You guys know how to take care of yourselves. I trust you. You'll come here if you feel like being here. You'll leave whenever you feel like leaving. So, all of that. But I do plan on streaming my workday, but I will also be very attentive to any emails, phone calls, attendance is mandatory. As long as you all stay in the same damn seats. Don't switch seats ever. You confuse me every single time. I'll be attentive to the emails, chat messages, calls, anything that would happen during my normal workday. So instead of taking a 2-hour break in the middle of a day. And it would probably be a stream that starts at 9:30 and goes through 3:30. So 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time through 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time, which is UTC -6. Right now it is 11:40. So it'd be from an hour ago or 2 hours ago. Yeah. And maybe for the first part of it, because again, I also don't want to be stepping on other streamers' toes. I know you have the ability to watch multiple people's streams and participate in them too, and I just don't want to take your attention away from anyone else's streams. So, still up for debate with myself whether I'm going to do that or not. But it's what I'm thinking of doing. That covers most of your workday. Yeah, so I want to be absolutely clear that there is no obligation to be here. I'm not expecting you to do anything different than what you would normally do. You will not be a bad person. And I have to I have to say this because I feel bad when I miss people's streams that I want to go and watch because they happen to be streaming at the same time as someone else. It's like, oh, I want to pay attention to all the streams all the time and get my work done. I want it all. So I don't want to put that obligation on anyone else. Okay, that said, let's get back to design. I'm gonna leave, oh man, but I really liked this picture. I'm gonna leave these images here. We're gonna, I don't know if it's even settled because they work for me. What I do want is to make these sections stand out so it's not so blah. And then this solid purple, I'm not liking at all. But we do need app screenshots here too. So what I'm gonna do for that, let's go ahead and get some placeholder app screenshots for down there. The way that I'm gonna do it is duplicating this, detaching it, and calling it transaction history view list thing. And we're going to use this as the placeholder image so that when we are actually working on the transaction history component, as we make changes here, it will show up in our landing page down here. So, Control Shift Ara. And then the one behind it will be, what was I planning on putting back there? I wanted one to be the actual transaction history and one to be like almost a chart. Not even almost a chart, but actually a chart. So yeah, I would want that to be a chart. Hello, Juan Van. Having a fantastic day. Thank you for dropping in and saying hi. Hello back. Okay, so duplicate you. E to extrude. I keep saying extrude. What is extrude? Dash. Transaction history chart. And just so that I know these are different, I'm going to get rid of those. Move you up here. And stretch you. No, that doesn't work. I'm not going to stretch you down. We're just going to leave you there like that. And I don't know what to do for chart. I do have a graphic that can be our placeholder for chart. Don't I? I guess I didn't keep it. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. Hello, Wusa. Happy Monday to you. Wusa. You're a graphic, though. I'll put you up here with the Peggy. And Blue Blue is here. Hello, Blue Blue. Thank you so much for helping out in Discord, and hopefully you got your questions answered as well. With a big old Duca from Wusa. Chart. Line chart. Oops. Line chart. And then we will turn you into component. We will group these two as variants, and we're good to go. Okay, so give me a this. Let's head over to landing página. Nope, it wasn't on the landing page. It was in our data entry pages. And we're going to put it inside of the here. You don't stretch and grow. With the container. What the deal? It doesn't matter. That's not the final thing that's going to be there. It's just a reminder that we're going to have a chart in this little container. I need to know it. They yell at me, I yell at them. Classic. It is absolutely okay. You are okay for now. Okay. So we're going to have a chart in the background picture. And again, this is not the final picture, so please forgive it. But that at least gives us content for what this bottom section might look like. And I need this. Get a little bit taller. Need you to move down. I need you to expand. Enhance. Okay. So this is the basic form of our landing page. Man, it still feels so messy, the way that I have everything. kind of want to swap you two. Okay, and those are the rest of you. Oops. So how can we improve this? Does anyone actually have an eye for design? Because remember that the page content is going to be about this size when it's actually displayed on the screen. And the rest of this is as you scroll down, you will start revealing these sections. So what can I do with buttered toast? I mean, with mashed potatoes. This is Figma. No designer here, but I appreciate it when it's done well. Me too. Sadly, the only eye I have is that I know the stuff I do looks terrible. Same, so same. Jigsaw says, aye, aye, ar, yee, ooh, aha. Like, it almost feels like these sections need to be striped as well in some way to make them stand out, to make them look good. But would it look weird if I don't put the stripe all the way across the screen? And also, what color should I make the stripes? Let's see if we can find some inspiration. Nope. I try my best, but always end up looking like crap, but at least it's usable. And that's my thing. It's like, I care more about functionality than I do good design, but I really want to start making some actually appealing, usable UI. What did, oh, somebody came in and called it another name that I hadn't heard a landing page called, and I can't remember what that was called anymore. Promotion page, product page. Marketing page, that's exactly what it was. So was it you that told me that? So that's a good name for it. Right, and I think what I struggled with on Mobbin was finding the problem solution section. I don't remember telling you that, but then I can barely remember this morning, so. Deck. Did I pronounce that correctly? Technically, black and white is a no-no for design. Right. Yeah, so our design is this purple gradient color scheme. And I am trying to come up with some ways to break this section up. And maybe these do need to be cards. Like instead of horizontal cards, vertical cards. Maybe. And then also, is there like some kind of rule that says that there should always be a call to action in each section so that the user can, wherever they are, decide, hey, I want to start using this product? That would make sense to me. So you're giving me a whole bunch of really cool pointers. However, we're kind of focused on just one section at the moment. I'll take those pointers and I will log them. But I would like to work one section at a time. Okay, there's those two. And then I'll take this one's. Give me this text. Copy. Pasta. So right now the main part that I'm focusing on is section number 1. So we first focused on this hero section, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. There's like too much space and I don't know, some weirdness about it, but I am for the most part happy with it. And then as you scroll, all right, thanks for the lurk. Then this cut here, hello Matt, to the next section. I don't know how to make this better. Still feels like the call to action button is too dark. I need to turn this song up. I don't like that. Sorry for the delay. There's probably like a few millisecond delay between the song hitting my Bluetooth headphones and then from me singing it to the microphone to processing it to stream. All right, what about having the logo thing in the top right? Oh, let me try reading this again. What about having the logo thing in the top right, the biggest text, then making the header not repeat it? Oh man. I am not sure what you mean. So are we up at the yeah, like I keep trying to pull our attention down to this section, but there's stuff that needs to be finished up here. Yeah, so it says financial management tracker in the top left currently. So you're saying make this text bigger? Yeah, I just wish that I could show this at scale better. I do have a code pen that kind of gives us a mock-up of what it would look like. Because right now, this is a mock-up for an ultra-wide screen. So it'd probably be better if we started doing the rest of this design on our normal 1080 screen. But like, here's what it might look like on a typical screen. Yeah, again, I'm not picking the logo just yet. These are semi placeholder logos. But yes, we could do some kind of FMT. And I did kind of play around with that a little bit. And I was like starting to, and then I didn't know where to go. It's a random placeholder logo. It's not the actual logo for the app. Again, we're wanting to make this app actually more professional looking, as if we were making it for a client. So there might be things that we could do to make it fun or funny or whatever, but I also want it to be as if we were making it for a client and they were going to produce this as a product or host it somewhere and have users and everything. Thank you so much for the follow, Ludi. Matt did have a question. I'm building a new app that I want to do in a style of clean code. I also want to test, but how do you test services? Are there no as there are no program.cs to inject them? So I'm not the best at testing. However, with my limited knowledge of testing, you would instantiate a new service and then run whatever methods you want. So you're pretty much mocking up everything that you need for testing that one method that you're going to test. Why did I open RMA Water? We need to go to Financial Management Tracker. Test failed. Give the buttons some juice. I don't know what that means. Give them juice. Make them squishy? Make them liquidy? Finance Man, where did you go? There you are. Okay, so for example, if I'm testing my transaction service, that's the UI. Try again. Okay, so let's say that I am testing my transaction service. This is in a shared library, and it's just a C# class library. And the tests that I have for it are here. And so the thing that I am testing here is a transaction service. So a specific implementation of my, a transfer service of my iTransaction service. And to get it started, we have all of these. Yeah, that will give us some fake data. I'm starting to say data just for you guys. And the soot here is the service under test, the thing that I'm testing the methods for. And again, this is unit testing specific. So to get that service under test, every test calls this give me a version of the test itself, which will give me the DB context with some faked data, and it'll give me a new whatever service it is that I'm testing. And instead of doing dependency injection, I'm manually passing in my instances for each of the things that it depends on. Because you're not testing the dependencies, you're not testing whether or not a HTTP client gets injected correctly. You're testing the functionality of, if this part of the code is supposed to fail, is it failing where gracefully? Is it failing the way that it should? Is this method actually doing what it's supposed to do? Kind of thing. So to control all that, you are instantiating all of the helper classes and all of the helper services, all the satellite stuff yourself, and then passing that to a new instance of, I don't know. I'm not good at testing. This was my first attempt at testing DB context stuff, or stuff that relies on DB context. And this is the approach that I came up with. It could be completely wrong. Yeah, and if you were here when I was setting this up, you could have pointed me in that direction and probably would have went there, and someone else would have said, yuck, you're doing a false, what do they call it, a fakes on your DB context. Instead, you should use in-memory DB or something. It's like, I just don't care one way or the other. So pretty much, I think what President Not Sure is saying is you pretty much make a stub for your DB context with the properties that represent your DB sets, and then you just populate them like lists in your mock data, and then you override the .add range, everything else so that it just operates on your static list instead of some kind of false database connection like in memory DB. But is that actually what I'm doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. No, I'm actually creating a new find and man context. And it's mostly because I am using DB context factory, and that's when I'm dependency injecting into my service. So if you don't want to decouple Entity Framework from the code, you are testing your code, then you're doing what you gotta do. Like I have an I repository or whatever that is implemented by a class that encapsulates my data access. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mean to get into reviewing the way that I'm doing testing my code. I was just trying to answer a question. Also have used an iUnit of work to wrap the DB context, since that's pretty much what DB context is. Cool. But yeah, this was more to answer Matt's question on how do you test services? And that part for me is definitely all of my services are interfaces, and they are implementations of interfaces. And so when I set up my test, I just generate a new instance of the class that I am actually trying to test. And then I pass to it as arguments the things that would normally be dependency injected. I put whatever state it needs to be in before the test, run the test, and then make sure that everything either passes or fails the way that it's supposed to. I have scars. Okay, so there are lots of things wrong about this design to begin with. Number one is the title is too small. At least this is an observation that was made. The title is pretty small. And so the header might be better if it were somewhere around, where is this? our H1 size, which is 48.83. That is pretty big. Let's just see what it looks like. That's not too bad on a ultra wide. It's just once you get into the actual size, so if I control 0, this should be actual size. Deselect. How do I deselect? Select none. How do I select none? Okay, so this would be the actual size of the page. Keep in mind that I am on a 1080 monitor. So that's probably why I just need to start moving to this one down here. Come up here, please. Okay, and the things I was asking for opinions on were this transaction history section, or not transaction history section, the track transactions section here. So number one would be that the content itself would have a padding of probably 8, I don't know. More. I was just about to ask about padding. Man. Okay. So on my monitor, this is what it would look like if I have the browser expanded all the way open. Is there an easy way for me to change the position of the hero section? I think that's still a matter of padding here. Or space between or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to do this. All right, I think I need to squish you so that you actually hug contents vertically. Let's try that. Just use CSS. I want to, but I'm a designer and I don't know too much about HTML and CSS. You are all UI magicians and you do magical stuff that I have no idea what it is. I just draw things on a screen and make it look nice. It's up to you to figure out how to do CSS. Okay. Can I now? Oh, all right. Man, this is so tough. Hero. You there. I want you to also hug contents. Good. Then I will use CSS magic. I will use padding to space and size. Cool, that worked. Wow, assumptions much? You can do anything you put your mind to, Mr. Designer. You can do HTML and CSS. Honestly, I have no idea how designers actually think, so please don't take anything that I say as representative of a real designer's thoughts or behaviors. I have a lot of respect, and I am in awe of good designers who are just like, all you have to do is just draw this box here, and then you put this thing here, and then all of a sudden it looks good. And it's just, why is this hard? Not a designer, but I play one on TV. I just don't get why this is difficult for you. Okay, so you get a different padding as well. So I'm liking this approach so far. I'm liking changing all of these sections to hug and then manually setting the padding myself in each of these different views. The problem is that there are some cases where I want the padding to change based on how you change the size of the component itself. Do you also stay at a Holiday Inn? I miss those commercials. So I don't really see commercials anymore, but there are some that you do just kind of miss because they're so clever. And the Holiday Inn ones were definitely clever. Holiday Inn Express. Even better. Okay, we're good. We're getting there. So I'm gonna tell every single one of my individual section components to hug contents. Except for you. You won't. You'll be fixed. The header is the thing that I want to hug contents. Shift, dude, shift. And that way, when I use them, then I will manually set the padding in their usages. Ugh. Aren't you supposed to be like centered and stuff? What just happened? What? I don't know. I'll fix that later. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with you, dear sir or madam. Okay, that is kind of annoying. I am trying to leave it alone. But I can't for some reason. Just leave it alone. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. Why aren't you actually hugging your contents? Don't you know that your contents need a hug? Okay, so this one, each of these sections are going to be hug. Oh, right. It's because you are, yeah, that's fine. That's going to work the way that I want anyway. You guys are hug, you're hug, you're hug. The entire container for you needs to also be hug. You are. And then I'll be able to control the vertical margins, paddings, whatever. Matt says, you listen to the same lo-fi as I do, and I was looking at my Chrome tabs thinking it was mine playing. You listen to Purple Cat? I love Purple Cat. My wife picked out pretty much this entire playlist. I love all of these songs. Okay, you there are also hug, hug, good. Footer, this one's going to be more dangerous to hug. Contents, so we will go ahead and, especially since I don't think very often, I try not to at least, I have auto layout set on these. I don't know, that's tough. And then if I tell you to auto layout, hug, yeah, we'll just do it like that. And I think I just saw why it wasn't doing what I was expecting it to. That's fine. Fine. Yeah, everything is good now. So we have our landing page contents where everything is just hugging, every section is hugging its contents, which is what I want. That way, when I am on ultra wide, I can manually adjust for each section how much padding it gets vertically. And that'll help me space out. Dude, so spacey. I'm going to call you 346 because that's an even number. Don't forget to hug your contents. They should feel appreciated. Moving people on the hottest day of the year. What do you mean moving people on the hottest day of the year? That does not sound good. You should not be doing anything when it's hot outside, ever. InstaFluff is holding on to a plush lion. I really need to not look for a hit stream. Okay, so then this track transactions section, it's up to us whether we want more padding above and below. And if we do, then we can adjust it. But for now, it looks good. It's good enough. And then same thing for you. You need to be positioned a little bit lower. For some reason, you are overlapping. Why are you overlapping? Landing page contents is autofill with no gaps in between, but why is this overlapping? Signori. Fill hug, hug, hug. Oh. I like that better. Like that you are all horizontally fill hug. Yes. Okay, I like that. Good, good. So why exactly? Oh, I think I know. It's because this thing is not tall enough. Is that correct? No, it's still overlapping. And it's not letting me change it. Are you two overlapping? Yeah, they are. Oh, okay, that's normal. Fine. Oh, right. Guess that means that you go back up here. Why aren't you snapping? Do you get it? Yeah, definitely check out InstaFluff if you don't know him already. He's just an all-around good guy. Right now, I believe he is doing game dev in Unity or pixel art or all of the above and none of the above at the same time. Good vibes on his channel. Okay, you still need a top padding. That's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah, and I even have you on hug. And there's still a gap under you. Anyway, more. Okay, there. Good to go. It's set up again, flubber. Close. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna make this actually look decent? Vertical padding. So the thing that I really want to accomplish with this vertical padding on the hero section is that in 1080, when you open it up to the main page, then the only thing that should be visible on your screen is the hero section. So can we see this in like full view? Yeah, so right now you can see that when you first open it up, you get the hero section and some of the content. It would be nice if when you first open it up, you only get the hero section on the full page. And then as you scroll down, then the hero section shrinks a little bit where it's still on the page and then it ends up looking like this. So first, hero section takes up the whole page. You start scrolling, hero section vertically shrinks, not horizontally. I don't know why I was doing this. Vertically shrinks so that it stays on the screen for as long as it can until the image starts reaching the top. And then once it starts hitting the top, it'll start collapsing and then turning invisible. And then you're at the next section. Which tools are you planning to use for the back end and front end? The app itself is done. Yannick. So the story that we're telling ourselves, and I'll try to say it quickly. The story we're telling ourselves is that we were hired by a client to develop this financial management tracking application. We, at the time, were just a full stack developer, that came up with the original design, the original implementation, the original approach that we were using. And so that's what all of this stuff is in this crappy Figma page, because as a developer, I don't want to pay for Figma. I can use the design tool and put stuff on different sections as I need, as I see fit, because I just want to get a feel for what it is that I'm developing. My original intent was to do a full design first and then do the application development. I ended up quitting not even halfway through the design phase. I threw these screens together and that was good enough for me. I got started. I threw this screen together, started working on that some more. And then we were working completely in the app, in Visual Studio, developing the application, and we completed it. We got it all done. You can see it here in GitHub if you're interested. And so that's the core functionality of the app. It does what it's supposed to do. The client was happy with the end result. They're like, this is cool. It does what we wanted it to do. You did what you said you were going to make it do. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate you. We won't be needing you anymore. Bye. Your design sucks. So then after that, we role played that they are now hiring us, a UI designer, to revamp the UI for this application. And so that's what we're doing now. And we have a paid version of Figma. We're using it to its fullest, at least I hope. we're trying to use it to its fullest. Keep in mind that even though I'm role playing as a designer, I am still not very strong in the design realm. I'm actually quite weak in it, to be honest. And so, yeah, we're currently doing the redesign of a project that's already been done. And this is still pretty real world scenario-y, where here's an existing application that's in production that people are using, but we want to give it a facelift. We want to redesign it. We want to make it more appealing. We want more people to use it. And we want to do that by improving the design of it. And so on top of improving the design, I am learning how to do design. And I have learned a lot about using Figma and applying some design principles, but I'm still not very good at it. I do like the bigger font though, so thank you Blue for the recommendation on having a bigger font for the actual application title where it matches the H1. Is it too much when I make it the exact same size as H1's? Because when I was looking at other application designs, I saw where the title is more like, I don't know, at most a H3. So I didn't know if it's actually good or not. I mean, I guess this one shows it where it's, yeah, it's still smaller than the larger font on the page. Same, where it's smaller still than the largest, the headliner. Yeah, I think, yeah, this one is even just the same size as all the rest of the font. And this is kind of that whole full screen experience that I want them to get when they first get to the application page. This one is stylized, and that's what makes it stand out. Yeah, this is more what I'm trying to accomplish. This exact effect here. Or I wouldn't say exact effect, not this exact effect. Go back up to the top, you're going too fast. Go to the top. Okay. Hero takes up the whole screen when you first open it. You scroll down and then you're at the first section. You scroll down more, except I don't want it to be snap scrolls. I still want it to be a regular smooth scroll. With not as much animations. I know animations are eye-catching, but I'm not trying to make it super eye-catching. This is for the people that want to track their own finances manually. They probably don't want a whole bunch of animations everywhere. That's not what's going to attract them, in my opinion. On the shop page, it's smaller because it is not the most important information anymore. Yeah, nor is the title of this app, I don't think. Like, the most important thing of this app is what you would use it for. People don't really need to know what it's called, per se. I don't know, I just want to see what it looks like as H3. $31.25. Yeah, I kind of like it better like this. And even these link buttons, link texts, could probably stand to be the size of 1.5 fonts. Actually, they just need to be the size of regular font. I didn't realize that they were at 12 when they should be at regular font size. Sumimasen, what are you doing? Oh, right, that's what it's doing. And maybe that's what's also wrong with the button too. Do I have a font style? I do. Okay. This cheddar is better. Still don't know what happened here. Can I reset you? I don't know how to reset. Anyway, I'll have to figure that out. I want to reset it back to its default, which I just did. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that at the moment, but I am out of time. The only flaw of that landing page is you can't tell what it is when you look at it instantly. Initially, maybe? Because when you have products, you need to highlight the products. Well, yeah, this is one product only. So I don't know if I made that clear. One application that is, unless that's what you're saying. If you have multiple products, then you want to make the products the most important thing. And this is only one product. And so you want to make the product name the most important thing. I think I get you. But yeah, that is my time for today. Time just goes by so fast. I am really glad that we got the pipeline fixed. That was pretty awesome. Really happy about that. Cool. And I just got word back that the fix that I did this morning for them is working for them, doing what they wanted to do. Awesome. So anyway, I was talking about him earlier. I will be back again on Wednesday. I'm saying like 16 things at the same time. I'll be back again on Wednesday. We'll talk more about this. Thank you so much for all of your input, Blue. We will, I said blue 3 times, Blue. We will continue with this. I will figure out how to fix this link text section here that I don't know why my override completely broke it, but it did. Yeah, I'll get that fixed. We'll get that fixed together on Wednesday. For now. Oh, it was an issue in the component itself. Anyway, for now, I will end the stream here. We're going to raid out to a good friend who I am so happy is back to streaming. I love his streams. Instafluff. His stream is marked as mature. He doesn't really do too many cursing or stuff like that, but if you don't like it, you know, he does allow it on his stream. But he's just an overall good guy. Deserves your follows, deserves your watches, your views. As fluffy as it gets. Yeah. So awesome guy. We're gonna head over there. I'll be lurking on his channel while I finish my workday. Oh no, I didn't pause my time. That's okay, I'll just subtract 3 hours. It'll be fine. 2 hours. But that's it for now. Check out the project on YouTube, on GitHub. I will post the recording of this video to YouTube sometime between now and the next stream. And ¿qué más? What else? I can't remember anything else. But that's it for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun. Ciao.